Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm known on Instagram as BShapeIt, and I used to come on here a long time ago, back in like 2012, 2013, and I spent a lot of time uploading vlogs or vlogs on my phone about all of my training and competition prep. And here I am with a totally different topic. I'm pregnant. So this is a totally new thing, obviously, for first-time moms, ladies that just find out they're pregnant. It's a totally different ballgame, especially when you're really used to being on point with your fitness program, your nutrition, and all of a sudden you have pregnancy. So I'm here today to share how I found out I'm pregnant, and Justin's reaction, as well as any symptoms I had over my first trimester. I am currently 10 weeks pregnant, and nobody knows. And by no one, I mean a handful of people. We still have to announce it to our family. So I am recording this way prior to when you guys are going to see it, about 4 to 5 weeks, actually. So how it went down, well, we know how it goes down, right? We know how it goes down. So it went down, and my doctor actually, it's funny, I had an appointment with him like a week or two prior, and he was like, go for it, you know, you're healthy, you guys are, you know, answer these questions, financially fit, a relationship good, you know, you have stable jobs, etc. I answered all those questions, and I was like, okay. And I told Justin, and we're like, you know what? Let's just like stop not trying. And yeah, our 6-month anniversary, we're good. So my period had some issues a year prior where I got off the pill in May, and I had a couple issues after getting off the pill, and it wasn't related to my hormones. It was actually a stenosis of the cervix, which is rare but can happen. I had to go under a procedure to get it dilated, and anyway, my period finally got on a rhythm. I'd say I was back on point by April this last year. So here we are in October. My period was very scheduled through August. So my last period was August 15th. I did utilize an app called Glow. Their new app for babies is Nurture, so I'm using Nurture now, but I used Glow, and I didn't pay for the premium. I'm not gonna lie, no premium here. I utilized it though to monitor my ovulation stages and to make sure that I was on track with ovulating and my period and everything was in place. I also made sure I ate a lot of nutrient-dense foods, organic proteins. Healthy fats were in my diet significantly. A lot of women are scared of fats, but do not be scared of fats. Fats are so beneficial for your hormones, for your energy balance, and I cannot rave anymore about fat intake. Working towards my health, I worked on my hormones for over a year. I was working on it the year prior to the birth control. And then the birth control, I continued to work on it. Exercise, stress management, sleep. You guys can't forget that all of those little factors, the biofeedback is so important. How's your mood? How's your stress? How's your sleeping? Are you really sleeping? Are you getting deep sleep? And how is your nutrition? Are you eating nutrient-dense foods that are going to benefit you to be able to have that body be in homeostasis where it feels good to you? I was pregnant the week prior. I had a weird discharge. It was a light pink discharge. If you're a guy listening, I'm so sorry. Plug your ears because it's going to get a little detailed here. And that was on Friday. I remember clear as day. And I was like, I looked it up. First thing that pops up, by the way, don't ever Google all the things because you can freak out. But I looked it up, and it was first sign of early pregnancy. So then I experienced implantation bleeding, which is not common. So I had bleeding Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. My period was due Saturday. It ended on Friday, like early in the morning, and I tend to be a person that spots, but it's only spotting between days 28 and 32 or something like that. But we were at days 24, 25, 26, 27. So I was like, this is weird. Looked it up, of course, said early pregnancy. Look up everything, right? So that weekend, I remember clearly Justin was like, I want a pizza. Me too. And if you all follow me on B-Shapin on Instagram, that doesn't happen for me. I am very regimented with my nutrition. You know, I'll have a pizza once in a while, and I have a pizza or whatever and a cannoli, and it was so good, and I really loved it. And I fell asleep on the couch that afternoon, which is not like me. I am not a nap taker. So right there, I knew I was pregnant, and Justin was like, you gotta be pregnant. So of course I go buy a pregnancy test, and I don't know what I'm looking for at all. I'm going there, I'm like, oh, this one looks good, this one looks good. So I buy clear blue or something like that. I took the test on Sunday morning. I didn't pass the test because I didn't do it right. So I didn't know I was pregnant on Sunday. This was the day after my missed period. And I was assuming I was on point that month. So the test didn't work. So I picked up a new test. I went with the one that is digital. It says pregnant. And I was like, this is going to give me an answer. It's going to give me a clear answer, which I wanted a definitive answer. So Monday morning rolls around. I took it at 3 a.m. So 3 in the morning, I find out I'm pregnant, and my first thoughts were like, I knew I was pregnant, and oh my gosh, I need to figure out the best way to tell Justin, because he had spent hours and hours and hours watching these baby reveals to husbands and boyfriends. I'm like, I can't be the wife that doesn't do these baby reveals that he's been watching and anticipating and crying about. Sorry, Justin. So I jumped on Amazon and ordered a spoon that said, you're going to be a dad. And I already had in my mind that I'm going to go to our favorite ice cream place, grab a couple pints of ice cream, and put the spoon in there tonight and let him know that we're pregnant. I spent that day thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. The only person that knows is my best friend. And this is crazy. I can't believe I'm pregnant and I'm at work. I'm just going through all these emotions all by myself, and my best friend, my husband, doesn't even know. I'm like, I gotta tell him. So I printed out all these cute little things announcing our pregnancy, which I'll show you. And I was just ecstatic. I was happy because I was able to make our first appointment, which was October 13th. And October 13th was when him and I started talking. So it was a really significant day. We're meeting our baby on the day that we met, and I just thought it was beautiful. And I really felt like it was a godsend. So I took that time and created all these things. I'm going to share you guys the reveal to Justin.
If you do destroy that property, understand the lives that are going to be affected, because that community is going to be entrenched in.
Why are you think it's ghetto?
You're not doing good.
Are you serious?
The reveal was awesome. I was just very pleased with it. He was obviously ecstatic, and I was too. So 6.5 weeks rolls around, and I want to share my symptoms. And I hope you guys can make some comments below about your symptoms you experienced, because I was like, man, this pregnancy thing's easy. I don't know why everyone's saying it's so hard. Mind you, that was before I hit 6.5 weeks. And then I started experiencing all of this nausea starting at 4:30 in the morning. And the only thing that would aid in my nausea was to eat frequent meals, mostly carbohydrates. And that is just not something I'm used to. And I had to listen to my body. I had to bring things down. I had to take more rest days or rest mornings and change my training to the evening just to combat that nausea. There was a couple days I was just truly exhausted and couldn't do anything. So for me, my symptoms were 6.5 to 9.5 weeks, just a few days ago, where it would be frequent nausea throughout the day. I had just a couple random good days, but for the most part, that nausea would just be lingering. I'd be drinking water only, a lot of the protein. I was very evasive to, did not want the protein sources. And for me, my nutrition, I used to eat a very high protein diet. I dropped my protein down to 90 to 100 grams. It's just really good for the baby to be a little bit lower. And then the carbohydrates were between 215 to 235, and the fats are anywhere between like 70 to 80. And my calories around 2,000 a day, and I will be bumping those up my second trimester, including protein. And the doctor just told me, don't worry that you're not eating a lot of vegetables, because I am just not liking broccoli or green beans or anything pre-cooked. Same with protein, nothing pre-cooked just turns me right off. And he just told me, make sure you're getting your calories in this trimester. I just want to make sure that I'm feeding the baby what it needs. So let's talk about training. So resistance training adjustments and cardio adjustments. My cardio dropped down significantly in intensity. I would still go for some jogs and runs. It just would drop down to like 2 times a week. Most of my cardio was walking. For training, I'm actually going to share my training behind the scenes with my vlog that I'm going to launch next. It's going to be all behind the scenes in my first trimester. So make sure you guys check that out. But I did rewrite my training program. I cut out a lot of compound lifts that were a little bit more pressure on my back. It would be more of the sumo deadlifts, conventional deadlifts, because I felt like my form needed work already, and I really didn't want to put my body in that position being pregnant. So I stuck with the Romanian deadlifts, but I cut out those more heavy compound lifts. Still training 6 days a week, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And versus I would train sometimes 45 to an hour, and the intensity is just not as much as before. However, expect a peak in your second trimester. You can certainly bump up that intensity and feel good about your workouts. For yoga, I'm still incorporating yoga. It's not as much as it normally was, and it's because I'm just having a difficult time creating that time where I feel good enough to do everything. So I cut back a little bit on the yoga, but I did take some time last evening and did an hour, and it felt really nice. And today, hopefully I'll get time, but I realize I've overpacked my day today, and it's Saturday. We're going to be at the 12-week mark on November 9th. You guys will still be a couple weeks behind, but that will be my big appointment, and that's where we do all of the testing. And I think we'll find out the gender, and we'll be doing a gender reveal as well as revealing we're pregnant to our family, probably Thanksgiving week. So it's really exciting. And I'm hoping you guys can stick around and share your experiences with your first trimester. Any symptoms you had, any cravings you had. I'd love to hear your cravings. I want to go over those with you guys because I think they're fun. I'm such a foodie that cravings are a blast for me. So for my 6.5 to 7.5 week, I definitely craved all of the carbs: pasta, pizza, bagels with cream cheese, which I still really like. Those are still my fave. And then 7.5 to 8.5 weeks, my cravings were salty foods, lots of salty foods, and hearty foods like home style meals. And then this last week has been mayonnaise, which is super weird. And I made a couple tuna sandwiches and I had to cut back on that. You should only have fish products twice a week. So, but those have been my cravings. We'll find out what this next week's cravings will be, but go ahead and share your cravings because I think they're fun and I like to read them. I've heard some crazy cravings. So if you have crazy ones, definitely share it and I'll check it out. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit some like buttons, and make sure you follow up with my vlog of behind the scenes of my first trimester.